This year, I told myself that I was going to take back the mess that is my studio, and I'm going to be doing a lot more creative projects in here, but it needs a lot of work. And one of the things that I needed to work on was a brand new workbench. Originally, I was going to take this entire video and put it over on my other channel at Dave Connery, but I decided I don't want the channel to be about that over there. In fact, I want this channel to be more about making things, and so from now on, any videos that I have that are me making an entire thing all the way through start to finish going to be held right here. Now, I should be prefacing this by saying, although I am upgrading my workbench, this is not a tutorial. I'm not trying to show you how to do this because I am not an expert. I just merely have a few skills and some random tools. So if you want to watch that for the next 25 minutes or so, or 20 minutes, however long it is, here you go. Let's get to it. Okay, so the table is all cleaned off, sort of clean. I took that railing off the back because what I plan on doing is getting a bigger tabletop that's gonna go on top of this one. So this MDF board that's on top here, sturdy, but only to a point, and it's already chipping away in some spots, and so I'm gonna put a big piece of plywood on top of this. Just on another point on that MDF, it's actually starting to bubble up because it's not very resistant to water, and I've gotten water or probably coffee spilled on this in the past, and so yeah, I'm probably gonna have to take that down a little bit, take one of those sanders that I just pulled out of here and take it down, smooth it down, and then once we do that, then put the plywood right on top. That will be so much easier once I get the wheels on. That's not me. That's the neighbors. Sorry for the weird shadows right here. Tree right here. Sun right there. That's how shadows work. So the one thing that I didn't realize about this, I don't know why I didn't realize this till now, but that section right there, and same thing over here, it's not flush. Like, it's not flush. The 2x4 hitting the brace, the crossbar, it's not flush. Also, where I was going to place the wheels, it's not on the corners. I want to make sure it's as far on the corners as possible. So I'm gonna have to figure out a different solution. I think what I'm gonna do is just go buy a couple more 2x4s, cut them down, put them on the outside. That way it'll give it a little bit more range on the outside but then I still have to shave that part down to get it flush. We got some work to do, but not right now, because I got to go take my son to get a haircut. Not me, but him. I'm not changing for you. So as with everything, life kind of gets in the way. Yesterday I was, dad, because kid was sick and I was doing dad things and whatever. So anyway, next day. So yesterday I turned the whole thing upside down, and then when it was still out here, I dragged it back into the garage overnight and I tore up that MDF, which is, it's telling for me. It means that I definitely need to do something different with this. So I am going to go to Home Depot here in a second, but first I'm going to go ahead and tackle this problem. Like I said before, it's a little bit of water damage. I don't need it perfect, I just need it a little bit more flush than this, so that whatever I put on top of this isn't all wobbly. Got the sander, some paper, snip snips. I haven't used this sander in a long time. I hope it still works. I mean, it's a tool, and it's a I don't know what kind of tool this is. Black & Decker? Those things last forever, don't they? That's so weird. How did I get that so wrong? Whatever. How did I get that so wrong? Maybe I cut down the wrong bias? That was weird. I did something wrong there. Wow, my hair is looking so fluffy and luscious. Okay, so small, potentially huge problem. When I bought this, right, I knew it was really wet, meaning it's like fresh out the lumber yard, hasn't really been aged. The reason that's a problem is because if it's too wet, then there's potential for shrinking, cracking, stuff like that. So I don't know what to do at this point. Most likely what's going to happen is that I'm going to get this on there, and then in months or years, I'm probably gonna have to replace them because they're gonna get all wobbly and weird again. So anyway, I got a couple more miter cuts to make on this thing, and then we'll move on. But I gotta go get the son from swim practice, and do something about this. What is going on? So do you see all the dark spots here? I mean, that's the moisture. That's how much water's in here, is that it's creating actual dark spots in the wood. And the thing is, I can't really move forward on the project until I get these legs done, because I'm gonna have to turn the thing upside down to put these on, and I don't want to do that with the new top on top. I don't want to be dragging the new top across the cement. I just want, I want to get this part done first, and then the rest. It's so wet, it feels like you could eat it. It doesn't taste good, but it's wet. Let's talk about MDF for a second. This material right here is called MDF. It's medium density fiberboard, and essentially all it is paper and sawdust glued together, compressed really tightly to make it firm. As you can assume with paper, is that you get it wet and it starts to deteriorate. This square right here wasn't here last night, or at least when I left the studio. But I had left a couple of these chop off pieces here, just like that. And so when I came out this morning, it was totally bubbled up, and like just like I had fixed yesterday, I got a new spot right here that I had to tear down with the sander. That's why I have to put primer on it, because if I put the wood on top of this and any moisture gets inside here, it's just gonna be a wreck. Even though I'm not ready for priming, let's go ahead and do it now, just in case I'm dumb enough to leave wet wood sitting on it again. Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's not good at all. It took all of that bit to get all the way through there. I don't have a 3/8. I have a half, I have a 5/8, I have a 9/16, which is a little bit big. I could probably just do this with a wrench. Now I have to go buy a 3/8. Why is it not going down? Just needed some leverage. When all else fails, use a tool for the wrong reason. Oh, wow. Okay, so this was my problem. I'm not sure, well, I'm pretty sure I know what happened. I used the other board as a template, and it's now not square. Like, I should have tested it first. And I'm an idiot. You can't see this, but basically, it's just not square. It's my fault. It's 100% my fault. The thing is, I don't know. I think I might have screwed it up. Because I can't drill another hole, because it's not going to be big enough. It's not going to be far enough away. Why did I trust the template? I shouldn't have trusted the template. I should have measured it from the table itself. I'm going to have to make a whole nother stand. Luckily, I've got some extra wood. The thing is that I drilled holes through both of these without checking. I'm probably going to have to make 2 new ones, because I'm that dumb. That's okay. That wood will get used for something at some point. Good thing I bought extra. So, my life has basically become a succession of me moving pieces of lumber from one spot to another and then back again. We are probably in the last third, maybe quarter, maybe even last 10th. I'm actually get this whole project finished today. We're going to sand this down because it's a little rough, and not that it matters, again, because I'm just going to be putting one of those pieces of wood on top of here. We're going to flip it over, we're going to put on the wheels, flip it back over, and then put the top on. I bought these wheels thinking that it was all I would need, and they probably are. They probably are. But this is the curse of being in this space right now on YouTube. Not that I'm a woodworker or workshop guy. That's not who I am, but I have been watching a lot of workshop videos. And then of course you get exposed to things when you're watching videos like that tell you about, hey, try these instead. But there was a guy that put up a link on Amazon to a set that were bigger, better, and legitimately cheaper than these. And I thought for a half a second, maybe I'd get those instead. I think I'm just gonna leave these, and then if, or rather, I should say when I decide to build another cabinet for, let's say, my cut saw, my chop saw over there, which I am going to do. I am gonna build it rolling. Maybe I will remove these wheels off of here. Oh gosh, that sounds like a bad idea. Anyway, maybe I'll take the wheels off of here, get the new ones, and put those on here, and put these on the new thing for the chop saw whenever that happens. I didn't realize till just now that these were stationary in one direction. I don't want to wait for those new wheels to come in. I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait for those wheels to come in. But I don't know if these are going to work. Again, just another one of the different mistakes that I've made on this project because I wasn't paying attention and I wasn't thinking it through, which is why it's always a good idea to plan your things in advance. You're still not ever going to get it right, even when you do plan it in advance. Not exactly, but at least if you have some more forethought into how things are going to work, you're better off. Otherwise you end up like me, making a much longer video than I need to because now I gotta go to Home Depot again. I'm not gonna film that part. This top isn't on yet, I just put it on here. And I went to the hardware store 2 different times. Don't ask, it's not important. They're laughing at me. Anyway, so I went to the hardware store 2 different times. I didn't film the last section because I didn't think it was that interesting, but as you can see, we have wheels. So now I have this new beautiful top on top of here, and it's all lined up. The thing is that's driving me a little bit nuts is when I look to the edge here, there's a rounding off of the MDF underneath it, a little bit of a chamfered edge. Once I get the top secure, I'm gonna come back in with my saw, my radial saw, and then trim off some edge. Hopefully I can get it to work. Because that's a lot of edge that I have to cut through, and I don't know if my radial saw will go that deep. If it doesn't go that deep, then I'm just gonna have to stick with this until I can get something better. So I just looked at the edge, and this is about a 1/2 inch too small. Now I don't have a bigger saw, and I can't put a bigger blade on this one. So I think I'm just gonna have to leave it for now and begrudge it for a while, and then fix it some way down the road. But final stretch, we are almost there. Okay. As you can see, the wheels are not as great as I thought they might be. Maybe they're too small. Maybe it's just not a great quality wheel. I wouldn't have known until I got it on here. So I am gonna go back and track down those wheels that I heard about on Amazon. Take these ones back, and at some point gonna put those other ones back on. Yeah, so yeah, that's probably the only thing that's wrong with this. And it's not terrible, it's a little cumbersome. Not easy to move it around, but you know, a lot easier than without wheels, that's for sure. I'm really proud of it otherwise. I think this is a success. And something I didn't share with you, and I'm not gonna worry about it right now, but I'll share in a future edition if somebody's interested. But I also took some of the extra wood that I had left over and I paneled the backside for 2 reasons. Number one, that way there's no pass through, so things don't push all the way through. So when I put stuff down underneath here, I'm pointing here, then they don't pass through. Plus, it gives me some space on the backside to put things like, say, clamps or whatever it is that I may want to put on the backside that I don't necessarily need all the time, but whenever I pull this thing out, it might be very convenient to have them back there. The real purpose of this bench was not to work on a bench, but was to work on projects. And so, as pristine as it is right now, ish, the whole point is to work on things. And we're already getting into the next project, which is something that has been staring at me for a very long time. And we're gonna take care of that starting, well, soon. This chair has been mocking me for the past year. It's my own fault. It's my own fault. And it's time for me to get back to it. This is gonna be the very first project underneath my new 0 Point series. If you don't know what I'm talking about, make sure you go subscribe to my Substack because I'm talking about it over there. But this is gonna be the first project. Everything else is a jumping off point from here. This is gonna be a task and a half, but we're gonna have fun. If you enjoyed this, make sure you like, comment down below, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. This one right here make sure you watch that video right there.